One of the first things that we did was we knew who our illa for rilla was, and we created irresistible content. And I know you're probably like, Terry, what is an illa for rilla? So an illa for rilla is basically a framework that I use in my podcasting course. It comes from a word that we all know, your target market, right? And the illa for rilla is your ideal loyal listener avatar, right? So ILLA is an acronym for ideal loyal listener avatar, and I put the Farilla on there to make it fun. My students, they literally crack up when they use this word. So yes, know who your target market or your illa Farilla is and create irresistible content. And so the way that we create irresistible content, one of the ways is asking our listeners the 5 whats. And I'll share with you how we get our listeners to talk to us. But the 5 whats are simple questions that allow you to get a gold mine of information from your audience, right? So the first question is, what keeps them up at night, right? What are they thinking about at night, right? What are those things that's on their mind? A lot of times for our audience, what we find is that many of them are thinking about, how can I leave this day job? Don't tell anyone, but how can I leave my day job? I don't want to do this full time, right? I want to pursue my side hustle full time. So if we know that that's what our illa for rilla is thinking about at night, well, what are we going to do? We're going to produce content that speaks directly to that, right? And have some experts come on and give them amazing, highly valuable content that they would probably have to pay for anywhere else. The next question is, what is your illa for rilla Googling, right? What are the things that they're Googling? What are they interested in? And so when we ask our audience these questions, they let us know, like, oh, I'm Googling, self-care best practices, or, mental health, or, how to vacation, or how to travel in the midst of a pandemic, right? And again, once we know that information, we deliver. The third question is, what is your illa for rilla dealing with, right? What are they facing in their life right now? And we've, again, had a gold mine of information from our listeners by asking this simple question. The next question is, what does your illa for rilla want? Do they want to pursue higher education? Do they want to, again, leave their day job, right? Do they want to go back to school, right? Or go into a different field? Those are all valuable insights that we can get about our audience. And the last question is, what kind of conversations are they having with their friends, right? I get feedback from the podcast about the podcast, and a lot of listeners are like, oh my gosh, you guys are like living in my head, or you're like, are you spying on us in our home? My girlfriends and I were just talking about this topic. And so the cool thing about my co-host and I is that we are our ideal market, right? Like, we are our ideal listener, or our illa for rilla. And so sometimes when my co-host and I, we kind of have a brain fart and we're like, we don't know what to talk about. What should we cover on this episode? We're like, well, you know what? Let's go back to what are the conversations that we're having with our girlfriends or our friends or our family. And when we lean into those topics, it tends to resonate with our audience.